What's going on, family? We are officially on the journey to 1 million subscribers, and my team and I are giving away $30,000 to help you pay off your consumer debt. That's right. 3 E3 community members will each get $10,000 to wipe out their consumer debt. Now, do you want in? It's simple. All you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel and join my email list by going to anthonyoneal.com and clicking on the Join the Community tab. That's 100% it. Check this out. At 940,000 subscribers, we're surprising one lucky person live on my show with the first $10,000, and we're going to give that person a financial makeover before paying off their debt. So, before we get to today's show, hit that subscribe button and let's hit it 1 million strong before my birthday, July 1st. All right? Love you all. Let's get to the show.
Let's just say my tariff went from about 5,000 to over $6,000. The tariff.
Say what?
Yeah. I elevate event experiences through my company, b.luxe Event Rentals.
Okay.
It is Baltimore's only Black woman-owned luxury event rental and production company.
Say that.
Okay, so clock
that. I just smiled on the inside because I need more, specifically us, people of color, to be thinking about not just our children, but our children's children.
My dad has been an instrumental part. He's working right now.
Wow.
But he's been an instrumental part in making sure that my business has seen tremendous success.
But Black women, you all can endure so much and still keep pushing through.
But you know why? We're conditioned to feel like we have to. So my business is very successful. What about that business that's still trying to get there? That dollars could bankrupt the average business.
Brittany, welcome to the table.
Thank you for having me.
Man, listen, I won't say who because, you know, I don't name drop people, but you were on the news.
Yes.
And I mean, the news people called me. That's all I can say.
Oh my goodness.
They was like, yo, bro, you have to get Brittany on your show. And so when this particular person called me after scouting you out to be on the news, they sent me all your information.
Okay.
And respectfully saying this, I never heard of you before. But watch this though. I've heard of your work.
Awesome.
Right? So I was at the governor's event, and then you put on the governor's, that you designed the governor's event.
Not the whole thing.
Not the whole thing,
it was a collaborative effort, but we did I specifically did the VIP rooms for the governor, the lieutenant governor, and Morton Street Dance Academy, I believe is the name, for our first daughter.
Yeah. I won't say number, but I was in the VIP rooms.
Yeah.
I feel you. So I see your work. I was like, but I never knew, right?
Yes.
You. Here's one thing why I had you on the show. Because the work, how do I say this respectfully? Because I don't want to get in no trouble. But I think how I'm going to say this is going to sound bad.
Okay.
But when I clean it up, it's going to be great.
Okay. Shoot.
It looked like a white company did that event. To find out that a Black woman did that event.
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Do you know that I want to say for the governor's event, we used, I don't think all, but probably like 90-95% Black vendors.
What?
Yes. Absolutely.
99% Black.
90 to 95. Yeah, I think like maybe like the big like AV company maybe was not. But yeah, a lot of us. I know specifically with me, I got 12 vendors on board.
Wow.
All minority, most women-owned businesses to contribute.
For the people who are tuned in and saying, wait, y'all talking about business owners and the governor's thing, what exactly does she do? Tell the people exactly what you do. And then we'll rewind and go back to about, I'm gonna start like 5 years ago.
Okay. So I elevate event experiences through my company, b.luxe Event Rentals.
Okay.
It is Baltimore's only Black woman-owned luxury event rental and production company.
Say that.
Okay, so clock that. I am also the founder of Six Figure Seasons, which is an educational platform that empowers entrepreneurs to scale their businesses to 6- and 7-figure success.
For real?
Absolutely.
So you've built a 7-figure business, and then now you're teaching other people how to build another 6- or 7-figure business.
Absolutely.
Here's why I like that. It's because I think sometimes people are scared. Oh, come scale your business to 7 figures. But you was like, no. Come scale it to 6 figures.
Let's go to 6 first.
Yeah. And then once we get to 6 and you're scaling that and that's being consistent, I'll show you how to get to 7.
Absolutely.
And then you've done this, I'm gonna put your age out there, but you've done this at a very young age in life.
Yes.
And then also, unfortunately, through a divorce.
Yep.
And I want to rewind. I want to go way back because you had this amazing business. You're putting on events for, celebrities and well-known individuals.
Yes.
I really wish I would have talked to you earlier because your boy's graduating.
Listen, we can make anything. We can make anything happen.
In a week and a half.
Yeah. It's my company.
You're going to be stressed. And you just met me. I want you stressed. I just met this nigga.
Well, listen, if you need me, I'm here. So the ball is in your court.
Well, Ed, we may have a good situation here. But I'm serious about that. We're going to talk about that after the show.
Talk about it.
Because your boy is graduating. Yeah, put the camera, boy, I'm trying to tell y'all, I've been working my behind up.
Kudos to you.
And I'm still in school.
Kudos to you.
Because I'm like, I didn't want to be the typical Black man who just knows how to talk. I also wanted to make sure that I have the paper that gives me the qualifications to talk about what I've been talking about.
Absolutely.
And I'll never forget, it was a white man. It's a white man. He looked at me, he said, man, okay, I see your net worth. Okay, you debt free, you came from Dave Ramsey. Oh, okay, but you ain't got no qualifications. So you can't talk to me until you have something behind your name.
Okay.
And when he told me that, I said, okay. And actually, I went back and started working harder just to make more money. And then me and you were talking before, I'm spiritual, but it's like I'm not super spiritual.
Yeah.
But when I hear clearly from God, I move.
Yes,
right?
you have to.
And he told me it's time to go back to school, so that way you'll never get told that again.
Absolutely.
And I said, okay, they're going to call me Dr. Anthony O'Neill.
Oh, that's right. Let's claim it.
But
Dr. O'Neill.
Anyway, so we got to celebrate that because it's been frustrating. Okay. And so we definitely can use your help for that. But one of the main reasons why I reached out to you is because you've built this amazing business. And on Instagram, and we're going to drop all her information inside of the Instagram so you all can follow her if you got events. If you're in the DMV area, I'm pretty sure for the right amount of money, she'll fly out to you.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? But, and if you got a business, you want to scale it, man, look up Britney, because this is a real one right here. I followed her for a while before I even reached out. But I've learned so much about your story. You had your first child at 16.
Pregnant at 16. Pregnant at 16.
17. Okay. Recently went through a divorce.
Yes.
You've over the last, I want to say about 3 to 5 years, it's been an interesting journey for you.
It has been.
What has been the hardest over the last 3 to 5 years, would you say?
Ooh, maintaining my sanity.
Maintaining your sanity.
For sure. Because in the last 3 to 5 years, specifically, I have dealt with depression. Man. I'm still dealing with grief.
Okay.
My 18-year-old nephew was murdered. I lost both of my grandparents. I lost the 3 of them in less than a year.
Wait. You lost my nephew?
And both of my grandparents.
And both your grandparents in less than 1 year?
I did.
Was that recently?
This was between 21 and 22. And, my business was doing really well at that point.
Yeah.
So it was like showing up, having to still show up, having to still be the boss, having to still, twirl around in rooms and kiss babies, so to say.
Yeah.
And you don't even want to look yourself in the mirror in the morning. You just want to, be in a fetal position. And it's like powering through all of that and still finding your way. Still coming out on top, still being able to push your business forward and motivate and inspire people at the same time.
And then, so how did you? Because here's one thing that when God blesses me with a wife, I've always said, I could never marry a white woman. No disrespect.
I am right there with you.
Because and what I'm about to say is going to sound bad too.
Okay.
But it's the truth. And a part of me, I don't like the fact that it is the truth. But Black women, you all can endure so much and still keep pushing through.
But you know why?
Why
We're
is that?
conditioned to feel like we have to.
What do you mean by that? Break that down for me. What do you mean you're conditioned to feel like you have to?
Well, I'll just talk about my own experience and a lot of experiences of those in my circle.
Okay.
Sometimes we go through things even as a young girl, teenager, young adult woman, and things happen in your life, but we don't have the luxury of being able to cry like a white girl, to have everybody rally around us. Like, you know, our tears are different from white girl tears.
Yeah,
and it's just a thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, girl, you know, you got to still go to school. You know, you got work in the morning.
Yeah.
I know you're sad, but you got stuff to do, baby. Let's go. Pull it together. And my life has been a lot of that. Wow. You know, I've dealt with a lot and seen a lot, you know, coming from a quite dysfunctional upbringing.
Okay.
You know, seeing abuse and seeing things that I shouldn't have been exposed to. But still being able to, you know, power through some of that, navigate through some of that, and make it to where I am today. It's only because of the conditioning of you got to keep going. You got to keep going. You can't allow this to break you. You can't allow this to stop you. And I wouldn't say it's healthy, so to say.
No, I don't think it is.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say it's healthy.
Right.
I would say that I think it's relatable, though, and I know that a lot of other Black women just know what I mean when I say, like, girl, you know, we don't have the luxury of crying. I remember going through a major depressive episode in 2019. I was sitting in my car, and I was talking to one of my girlfriends. And at this time, no, I'm sorry, it was 2020. So I launched a business in 2019. I quit my job in 2020. So things were good that summer. When I quit, I was making so much money. I was like, what is this? Like, it just was like a newfound life. And we were still kind of going through the COVID restriction.
Yeah.
And I had separated from my husband. I went and got me and my kids a new house. I had left the house that I purchased, went over into a rental home because I just had to get away. You know what I mean? I just was like, I don't care. That house can go into foreclosure. I got to get away from him.
Wow. Wow.
So got a rental home.
Was he a Black man?
Yes.
Oh,
dang. Went and got a rental home and was supposed to renew the lease. And the landlord was like, y'all got to go. I sold the house. So now we don't have nowhere to go. Now we don't have a home. He's like, well, you have another house. I'm like, I just rented that house out, sir. You don't know the dynamics of what I have going on. So in a split second, I'm like, okay, so now we don't have nowhere to go. A little bit after that, COVID restrictions came back. And all of this business that I was getting, it came to a screeching halt. So me as somebody that's new money, you know I was blowing all that money.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That money's gone.
Yeah.
So I have no job because I quit my job.
Okay.
I have no income coming in because my events have stopped. And now I don't have a home for me and my children.
And going through a divorce.
And going through a divorce. Even though I left the situation, I still had to go through that mourning process and that grieving, that grief of losing my husband. Whether I left him or not, I still lost my husband. I still lost our familial unit. So I was going through like a major episode, and I remember talking to one of my friends, and I was in the car, and I was like, I was so busy today, you know, just trying to, try to keep things going with the business. I'm gonna cry tonight when I go in the house. She was like, what? I was like, I'm going to cry before I go to sleep. But just in that moment, it was just so crazy to just admit, like, I had to schedule time to cry. So when I talk about not having the luxury, Black women not having the luxury to emote freely, I couldn't just stop in the middle of my day and just start crying in the middle of work or just in the middle of somewhere and somebody feels sorry for me. They might have thought I was crazy.
Facts.
And maybe it may be acceptable, but we're not conditioned to believe that.
Yeah.
It's, suffer in silence.
Yeah. I think, and we didn't even talk about this, and I think some watching this show right now is relating with you. And I think the brothers we're sitting back and thinking, okay, wait. We got to do better. But then at the same time, it's like, I'm still inspired though. Because you just told me what you've been through.
Yeah.
But I see where you are today. Right?
Yeah.
And I want to ask you a simple question, but sometimes this is not simple for certain people. Deep down though, what is your why? Like, why are you going so hard right now? what got you through the depression season? What got you through the divorce? What got you through, okay, wait, when we came back, how did you bounce back? Like, if I'm not mistaken, I know you got one warehouse.
I have 3.
I was about to say, don't you have like a couple of more?
Yeah.
One of them's clean, you said.
Yeah, the other are just like crazy. You don't want to see. I have a 50-foot trailer that has furniture. I have another storage unit that has furniture. I got furniture everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's like, but you booked and you're doing your thing, right? And I want to know, like, what is Brittany's why? Because I feel as if here's the mission of our company.
Yeah.
Is that by 2053 that we want to help families and individuals, specifically within the African American culture, eradicate $1 billion in debt.
Yeah.
And then also by 2053, build up at least $500 million in wealth, which is via investments, businesses, etc.
Yeah.
But to do that, you got to have a why that's going to help you push through.
Absolutely.
Paying off consumer debt and investing and building a business and passing this stuff down to your kids. So, Brittany, what's your why? Like, why are you really going hard? Because I'd be looking at your gram and I'd be like, oh, this woman going hard.
Yeah. So I made the comment before, like, my kids were my inspiration, but my grandchildren are my motivation every day.
Ooh. Ooh, I
They
like
are.
that.
Because I want to give them something that I didn't have. And I don't feel like I didn't not receive it because my parents didn't want me to have it. They just weren't in a position to. And now that I've found myself in a position to be able to do it, then why not? You know, that change has to start right here.
Yeah.
And it's not just for me and my kids to live good. They got to have kids and their kids got to have kids and grandkids and everything else. You know, me and my friend, John Lee, we have this like inside joke, like when I do my photo shoots and things like that. I'm like, yeah, you know, my great-grandchildren, my great-granddaughters, they're going to pull up Granny's pictures and say, she was that girl. Okay? She was that girl and she did that. And if she did it, I know I can do it too. So it's really for those who are coming after me.
Do your kids already have kids?
No way.
Okay. I know. I just had to ask. I didn't want to be offensive.
No.
But I like that because you're already thinking about them and they're not even here yet.
Yeah. Because they're coming. I have boys. I'm a boy mom.
You have no daughters?
I have no daughters.
How many boys? You have two boys. All right.
Yep.
All right.
19 and 11.
19 and 11.
Yep.
Lord Jesus.
So I'll be a grandma at some point.
Absolutely.
I will.
For sure you're going to be a grandma.
So they coming.
They coming. It's just a matter of time. Let's just be real here.
Yep.
Hey, but I love that. I love that. And I'm laughing because I had to ask that question because I'm trying not to be offensive. But it's like for me, 3 years ago, I woke up and I was like, yo, God was like, man, you built this amazing home. You got this amazing lifestyle. It was like, but your money is where your heart is, and your heart is where your money is, right? It's a biblical statement. And he was like, but when I look at your money, I don't see nothing that talks about kids or a family. I was like, well, I ain't got none. He was like, so you're not going to think about it and prepare for it? So hearing you say, I'm preparing for my great-grandchildren, I'm starting with me to change their life.
Yeah.
I just smiled on the inside because I need more, specifically us, people of color, to be thinking about not just our children, but our children's children.
Yes.
And so one of the things that I did is I sat down with my attorney 3 years ago and we did an estate plan.
Okay.
And I opened up 529s and investment accounts for my grandchildren.
Awesome.
That were inside of my estate plan. If I'm blessed to have kids, which I hope one day.
Yeah.
My kids can't touch that money.
Yeah.
Their kids can't touch that money.
Yeah.
And I was like, and it felt so good.
It feels good, right? Just the thought of it is just like, you know, setting up somebody that's not even here.
What's going on, family? If you want financial freedom, you need time freedom. And both start with increasing your income. That's why I've partnered with my good friends over at Careers to help you land your first high-paying job in tech in as little as, check this out, 6 months. Now, you don't need to let the word tech scare you. Please don't. This isn't about coding, all right? Careers offers real opportunities in areas like quality assurance, tech sales, UX, UI design, and data analytics. No tech background or a 4-year bachelor degree even required. You'll get hands-on training from industry pros, real-world experience, career coaching, and even, check this out, an internship to help you stand out when you go to apply for jobs. And it's 100% remote. You can work from the comfort of your home. If you're ready to take control of your money, your schedule, and your future, I need you to head over to anthonyoneal.com/careerist. That's anthonyoneal.com/CAREERIST and start your journey to a better life today.
What's the vision and the goal for the business? Does it end with you? Do you pass that down? Do you sell it? Like what is the goal?
My 11-year-old has already told me that he is going to take the business over.
The 11-year-old.
The 11-year-old.
19-year-old don't want it.
The 19. All right, so let me tell you about my kids.
Talk to me. All right, you got brothers. So
I have brothers. I have the humanitarian.
Okay.
And I got the hustler. The hustler want the business.
The hustler, I'm about to say, that's 11-year-old.
Yeah.
He want that money. Humanitarian want to help people.
Yes, he want to help people.
Yeah.
And that's great.
That's
We
good.
can help people too.
Right.
But the hustler, he's like, oh yeah, I want this.
Do they help you out with your business right now?
Absolutely. And you know, my oldest son, that first year, well, he worked for me for a few years.
Okay.
But those pivotal moments in the beginning, it was me and him. It was me driving a box truck.
Okay.
And him in the passenger seat.
Wow.
And I'm just so grateful that nobody called CPS on me.
Wow.
Because I worked that boy. That first like summer, we were real busy, like 2020.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was working.
He was working. Okay. Up at 6 a.m. We might have got back at 2 a.m.
What?
Yeah. We did that all.
Because you got to set up and then break down.
Set up and then break down. We had one truck. It was just the two of us. And we would have that truck, a 16-foot box truck, filled from the front to the back.
And you two had to fill it up yourselves.
Yes.
I got to ask this question. and again, and be honest wherever you want to be honest.
Okay.
But talk to the brothers. Because if we're going to eradicate this debt and if we're going to build this wealth, one of the things I'm doing for my PhD, I told you where I'm applying to, and I submitted that I believe that if we're going to build that much wealth within the Black community, it cannot just be Britney by herself and Anthony O'Neal by himself.
Absolutely.
It has to be a
union.
Come
together.
It has to be a partnership.
Yeah.
Do you think if you were still married to a healthy man, would your business be further today? Or is it like, nah, I am the bread and butter. Like my partner can't help me.
I'm definitely the bread and butter.
Facts. I get it.
Let's be clear on that.
Okay.
I would say that if I was in a healthy partnership, maybe it would be a little further ahead. But what I do want to say is this. While I may not be married, I do have men in my life. You know, my dad has been here, my stepdad, but he's my dad.
I rock with you.
So when I say father and dad, we're talking about two different people.
Okay.
But my dad has been an instrumental part. He's working right now.
Wow.
But he's been an instrumental part in making sure that my business has seen tremendous success, as well as other men, my brother, and just some other, my sons, and some other, some other very, very close people to me. So I don't want to say that I haven't had help from any men at all, because that's not true.
That's good.
A lot of the people that I hire are men.
Yeah.
Really, they're mostly men because I need the muscle.
Yeah.
But as far as what you mean, like a union and a partnership, could it be different? Absolutely. And I took this idea to my ex-husband for us to do together, to build our family, for something that we could leave the kids. And he gave me a very cold, hard, resounding no.
And you still pursued it though?
Absolutely.
What would you say to someone right now who has a vision with everything that you've experienced and been through, and her husband says no? What would you tell her to do? I'm curious.
Leave him.
Oh, Jesus. Lord Jesus. Up the gate, me?
I mean, it depends, okay? I'm saying leave him based
I
on
was
my
about to
situation.
say, I can't say that, bitch. Oh, Lord Jesus.
Leave him. Kick him to the curb. But no, this is what I'll say. Don't, as your wife, why are you telling me no? The follow-up question should be something.
Let's sit down and talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Right.
Show me, like, give me the plan.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
If you just come out and tell me no, you're done.
I agree. I mean, because look at you now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, I agree.
It has to be some follow-up. It has to be like...
It can't just be a no.
It cannot be a no.
I agree. You can't build wealth if it's just a no.
No.
You can't build legacy if it's just a no.
Yeah.
And one of the things I've learned from my mother, so I'm again, it's so funny. I'm in a very similar situation as you. Both sets of my family are coming down for the graduation. So I grew up with biological mom and my other dad live in California. I have two siblings on that side of the world who I love dearly, like they are my full siblings.
Okay.
And then I have my biological father and my other mother. I don't call them step neither though.
Yeah.
Because I was 1 year old when I met all four of them.
Yeah.
And so it was like, man, they've all played crucial roles in my life. But I totally understand the power of a woman's voice in a man's life, and a man who listens to his partner. And I've watched them to build something of substance.
Yeah.
Because they've listened to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love seeing the healthiness of that dynamic. And that's why I really want to talk about in my studies for my PhD is the power of partnership.
Yeah.
I got a lot of work to do on that part because I mean, I know there are healthy people, healthy marriages who are not rich and wealthy.
Yes.
But I want to know why. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, if your brain comes together with a powerful man, and his brain come together with a powerful woman like yourself, we should be able to make more money.
Absolutely. We will make more money. I think that is a definite
fact. So I'm like, so why, in my head, which I gotta do some studying on, why is that not happening?
Yeah.
And I look forward to really diving in over the next 4 years and figuring that out. I got to get MBA first, and I'll be done in December. We'll go from there. But people watching this right now, they want to take their business from 6 figures to 7 figures. They're watching right now. What's the very first thing you're going to tell them? Okay, wait. This is a new business.
Okay.
Only been in business for 2 years.
Okay.
I have a full-time job. Okay. I work it on the side, and it maybe makes me about $12,000 a year right now with income.
Okay.
And I would love to eventually one day leave and work this job full time, but it needs to make me at least 6 figures, especially living in the DMV area.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, what would you tell me?
Well, first of all, what is it that you want to do? Is it going to bring you 6 figures?
Ooh.
Because a lot of people start businesses and it's like, this business ain't gonna never make you money. Let's be clear. Let's be clear about what we want.
But what if they're like, no, it can though. Okay, and you know for a fact that it can't.
Let me see. So when I started my business, prior to that furniture getting here, so when I started b.luxe, I blindly ordered a container full of furniture from China. No mentor, no resource guide.
Wow.
Just literally had my wedding in 2017.
Okay.
I was like, nobody's doing luxury events in the city. I'm not understanding. Why are we getting things from DC?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't ready financially at the time. And then 2018 came around and I was like, nobody's doing this in Baltimore.
Right.
What are we doing? I was like, okay, so I'm going to do it. And I found a manufacturer just online while I was working my full-time job because yes, do your side stuff at the full-time job. Just don't get caught.
That's
so
true.
I'm on a computer and I was like, I got to get this stuff here. Let me figure it out. But I'm also very resourceful. I'm that girl that like, when one of my girlfriends calls me and she wants to find out what's going on with her man and give me the first name.
Oh.
Give me like what's their Instagram name?
Y'all better watch out.
Find the address.
Y'all better watch out.
I know their social security number.
All right.
By the end of the day. But no, I'm just really, really resourceful.
That's
like
good.
You can't hide anything from me.
Yeah.
So I found a manufacturer and I found a good one. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it. They sent me the quote. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. But prior to that stuff getting here,
you did any research? Did you do any research and plan stuff?
I did as much research as I could.
Okay.
And that's why I created Six Figure Seasons, because for the event rental niche, it's not that much information out there. It's really, really not, especially like in the luxury lane. So I did the research that I could. I secret shopped other luxury companies like in the DC area, in the PG area. Like, okay, so what are they renting these chairs for? What are they renting these tables for? And I have a notebook that I had a notebook at that time. I still have it from 2018.
Yeah.
And I wrote down their prices and I was like, all right, so if I get 100 chairs, if this is a wedding, this is what I could charge. I started doing all of that before my stuff got here. So I say that to say, you have to make a real blueprint on how you're going to get to that 6 figures.
Facts.
Does it make sense?
Facts.
If it's something that you're doing that's never going to yield that, then don't have that expectation of 6 figures, because you're not going to get there. Now, if it's 5 figures, then that's cool.
Yeah.
You have to understand that that's what it's going to be.
But you know, I didn't know this, but it makes sense now. When we rent through you, it's your furniture.
Yeah.
So you don't go out and rent other places.
No.
It's you.
It's me.
Dang.
It's all me. 3 warehouses full of furniture.
What made you go that route? Because I think there are people like you who will be the event person.
Yes.
Then they'll go out and rent furniture.
Absolutely. So I am a money girl. I'm a money girl. So I sat down, right? When I was thinking about this whole idea, I was like, all right, so I want to be in the events industry.
Okay.
But I want to be one of the people that makes the most money.
Yeah.
Because my time is very valuable. I have children. I want to have a life.
Yeah.
And if I show up on the scene, I want to make sure that I'm making a lot of money. And that's what sold it for me with the rentals. It was like, okay, I have the potential to make thousands of dollars every time I show up. That will get me to 6 and 7 figure status way before, doing anything else in the event industry for me. I mean, that's not to say that there are not event planners or balloon artists or florists or whoever else that are not making 6 and 7 figure revenue. But I know for me, I can get there real quick.
Yeah.
Literally a couple of events can take me to 6 figures.
Good God.
So.
Good God.
I'm just saying.
And you want to do my graduation party? She must say, hey, you going to be one of them to help me get there. Lord Jesus.
I'm just saying.
Wow.
So for me, and this is me 9 to 5 me. This is me at my job. This is not me thinking about it now or even 3 years ago. Wow. This is prior to even receiving the furniture. I was like, okay, if I'm thinking about it like a rational, intelligent human being.
Right.
And you just think about the people that show up at the events. Yeah, the rental company is going to make a lot of money. I don't want a venue. I don't want that headache. Venues make good money too.
Yes.
But you have this furniture that you constantly rent.
Right.
I'm getting it directly from the source. So all of that markup that you see here in the U.S.
Yep.
I went to China back in October, and they were like, oh, we make furniture for this person, that person, that person. I know. I bought an $1,100 dining room table a couple of years before I started b.luxe. Same table I can get from my manufacturer for $375. So the markup is crazy. And we don't even want to talk about the tariffs. That's a whole nother show.
Listen, I'm sitting here looking at my clock like, oh, Lord, geez, do we even have enough time? But it's like, how are you winning right now with the tariff situation? Are you still ordering?
I have a container that's getting ready to show up.
And are the prices, higher?
Well, the tariff on it, let's just say my tariff went from about $5,000 to over $61,000. The tariff.
Say what?
Yeah. Because the tariff used to be, I believe, 20 or 25%. I can't remember right now. That's what it used to be prior to all this foolishness with Trump.
Right.
Now I think it's at like 245% or something crazy. So I don't know. It's not here yet, so I don't have a final bill.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what small businesses are dealing with right now.
How are you feeling about that right now? Are you concerned? Because let's be real.
Very concerned.
You're going to have to offload some of that to your customers.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That's a big pill to swallow, because that's $61,000 that goes to Trump and Musk.
Yeah.
Okay, let's be real.
Yeah.
But I still had to pay for the inventory. I still had to pay the shipping line. I still had to pay the freight forwarder. That doesn't have anything to do with the cost of my stuff. So you're talking about now we're at $100,000
to get your stuff from.
Just to get it from China. Yeah, it's insane.
And if you would have bought that stuff, everything you bought in China.
Prior to this?
No.
Oh.
I'll say right now in America, If you got all the same, dang, your eyes.
There's nowhere.
Crazy.
There's nowhere.
You rolled the eyes hard.
There's nowhere to get it from in America. You know why?
Why?
Because the American companies are getting it from China. So why are we doing all of this? There's nowhere to get it from. It is not this type of furniture that I get is not made in America. This is made in China. It's made in other countries too. Let's be clear. There are a lot of countries all over the world, but it ain't made in America. I can tell you that. It's not.
Jesus.
We don't have that infrastructure yet.
Pre this administration, how much would that furniture have cost you?
My tariff would be probably like $4,000 or $5,000.
What?
Yeah, it would probably be something around there. 4,000 to 5,000 versus over 60,000 is insane. So my business is very successful. What about that business that's still trying to get there? That $60,000 could bankrupt the average business. So what do you do?
And we're facing the same thing.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure things out. How are we going to do it? And it's a rough time.
It's a very rough time.
Because as business owners, we have to make hard decisions.
For sure.
And we got to make hard decisions, one, for the company, and two, for our customers.
Absolutely.
And if we don't take care of our customers, then we don't get paid.
Yep.
If we don't get paid, then we got to shut down the business. We got to move some things around.
Yeah.
And all of this, and I call this a self-inflicted. This wasn't like COVID or like the housing market. It was because one man.
Yep. This was very much self-inflicted.
Yeah, one man. And I'm like, wow. And so because of one man's decision, the world
will suffer.
Pay for it.
Yeah, the world will suffer.
And when you look at that in the world, African Americans, I believe, will suffer the most.
Oh, absolutely. And exponentially.
Yeah. And I'm just like, this is scary. But at the same time, though, to whom much is given, much is required. And I believe that spiritual side of me, it's God will never put more on us than we can bear.
Absolutely.
And it's like, it's going to suck. We're going to get through this season. And we're going to come out stronger on the other side.
Yeah. I definitely believe that.
Man, I wish we had more time because I have more questions. Because I'm like, you winning. Like, she's winning. And y'all, I want y'all to go check out her show. Not her show. I want you to go check out her Instagram. I want you to hit her up. If you want to get a business, get your business going from 6 to 7 figures. If you're at a 5-figure situation right now, man, call her. Reach out to her. Let her mentor you.
Absolutely.
Go on her Instagram because she's doing many.
I have a mini series now.
Yeah.
Called Behind the Luxe.
Behind the Luxe.
Yeah.
And you sharing your story, your journey, and the process, and everything.
Yeah.
So go get the information, y'all. Go get the information. I promise you, we'll drop it inside the show notes. This is an amazing young lady just winning in the Baltimore area, DMV area.
Thank you.
And we appreciate
Baltimore and DMV is not the same.
I just found out. I'm not from the DMV area.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Okay. I've only been living here for about 3 years now.
Okay.
And so I've been told, do not say Baltimore is DMV. And I was like, but it's in Maryland. It was like, yeah, no. And I met people from Baltimore and it was like, yeah, bro, I hardly go to DC.
Yeah.
Like, I know if I'm gonna eat or brunch, I'm a brunch in Baltimore.
Yeah, we have a great food team.
I don't know about all that.
We do.
I have not had any good food in Baltimore, but we'll
talk offline.
Yeah, I don't Baltimore. DC is a little bit better, you know. But anyways, y'all, man, we're gonna drop all her information, y'all. Please make sure to check her out. And if you have an event, you do everything: birthday parties, graduations, very professional stuff. So we're gonna drop her information. Book her, get some information, follow her, and we'll see you in the next show. Peace out.